Hello and welcome to Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town, Fort Mill, TKK. I'm your host, Patty Mercer, here at the Fort Mill Care Center. Let's go inside and check it out. Now, what is the role of the Care Center? You mentioned 2 zip codes. What are those zip codes?
29708 and 29715.
So that would be Fort Mill and
Fort
TKK.
Mill Township, pretty much Fort Mill School District is how we don't cross any county lines.
And what do you find? I mean, a lot of people believe Fort Mill is, well, it is thriving, and yet for the Fort Mill Care Center to service the number of families that you do, obviously not everyone is thriving.
No, they're not, and you're right. We get a lot of comments about, oh, Fort Mill's such a wealthy community. Well, Fort Mill's been around for a very long time, and we have a lot of families that aren't wealthy. Unfortunately, we're losing some of them because housing is so expensive in this area, so we are losing them. We do get new clients almost every day that add to it, but, you know, people lose jobs. They have short-term emergencies. People get sick, elderly, take in grandchildren. Those are long-term problems. They're not the short-term problems.
This location is so inviting, different than I think people expect. How would you describe it?
I think it's a lot warmer than most, say, government agencies. We just have a nicer feel. There's a nice, comfortable bench couch out there that they can sit in, and people do, comment how nice it is here.
It's awesome because you were able to repurpose what was a restaurant,
Right.
and now is a real nucleus of care for the community. This area, of course, I see lots of stuff from shampoo to canned foods to diapers. But you're going to get more space in January, I understand.
Right, we are, and we are looking forward to filling that up. We are going to be closing down the rental storage unit that we have. Everything will be housed on one property. We may be jam-packed looking, now, but we are going to have 2,000 square feet of empty building to fill up, and as we need refrigeration freezers, we need to fill those up as well, and we're a permanent gift to the community. So the more we have, the more that the clients can get.
I am looking around. I mean, we think about the Fort Mill Care Center, and of course, I think our community is involved a lot with the canned food drives and things like that, but there's so much more in here. What are some of the basic needs that families need?
Well, one of the things that we supply in addition to food are personal care items like soap and shampoo and deodorant, diapers, those kinds of things. If they're not food, they cannot be bought with food stamps. So that's something that we're glad to be able to help supply some of that with for the families.
Jean, throughout the year, needs change, food changes. What are some of the needs that you would, look for, say, like during the seasons of the year?
Okay. Well, in general, a couple of things that we tend to not get as much donated, and so we get low on faster than other are rice and also canned meats. Mm-hmm. Those are the kinds of things that we don't get as much, and canned fruit.
Canned fruit.
Yeah, those are the kinds of food items that we don't get as much donated. Mm-hmm. Also, the personal care items, the shampoo, the deodorant, toothpaste, and toothbrushes.
The Fort Mill Care Center, you help our community in more ways than just providing food.
We do. We do. Of course, we do a lot of food on a regular basis. We do utilities on a regular basis. We do certain prescriptions, emergency prescriptions. We do some dental if somebody's got an infection and needs to come in and have a tooth pulled. That's about all we do. And no, I don't personally pull them. Mostly, what we do a lot of is referrals. There are things that we can't do, but we do know the community, we know the Rock Hill area, and we're able to do a lot of referrals.
And that is so important. This can be the first stop when suddenly an individual or a family has a need. This new location has a food pantry. It also has some areas that seem very designed for sitting down and discussing one-on-one with a person how you can help.
Yeah, we do, and we're particularly try to be aware of the new clients, the people that have never been here before. They're uncomfortable. We try to get them through as quickly as possible. My favorite story is the gentleman that came in after we moved here, and as you've seen in the waiting room, it's a very pleasant place. And he just was filling out the paperwork, and he just kept saying to me, "This is not what I expected. This is not what I expected." Because he thought he was going to go to some strip mall somewhere and go in a building where everything was gray, and including the expressions on people's faces. And because we're all volunteers, nobody is working here that doesn't want to be here or doesn't want to be around the people. So, if somebody looks uncomfortable, we're all aware of it. We get them in back as soon as possible. Sometimes we just sit out front and talk to them because sometimes they just want someone to talk to.
That's what amazes me. You all are volunteers, so that means 100% of donations go directly to our local community.
Yes, except for the expenses of running this place, which we now own, so we have more expenses than we used to have.
So far to date, we have given out 82,917 pounds of food, and that went to, like I said earlier, 1,919 families, and that consisted of 3,018 adults and 2,324 children. That's youths under the age of 17.
What we give out within last year, 81% of what we gave to clients was directly donated to us. So that means the remaining 19% we purchased with money that was donated to us.
Everything's donated. It's just
everything
how
is,
it arrives.
Right. But
what is the process of donating? I mean, do you just drive in and drop it off, or is there a preferred way?
When we are open, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings from 9 till noon, donations can just come during that time. That's when almost all of our donations come, is during our regular operating hours.
Nobody in Fort Mill does what we do on the scale that we do, but there are some places to get a little extra help once in a while. But we basically, as far as all the things we do, especially prescriptions and the dental, we're the only ones that do it.
The community is extremely generous to us. We're truly blessed by the generosity of the Fort Mill community.
Isn't it amazing how sometimes the person that you think you're giving the blessing to actually gives you such a blessing?
Yeah. It's, we get some thank you notes from kids. We get people that were clients and aren't clients anymore, and they want to help. They'll come in sometimes with $5, but they feel really good about giving back.
And the location of this new building that you own,
Yes.
so you're going to be here.
Yeah, we are a permanent gift to the community.
Yes, I love it. What's the address?
2760 Old Nation Road, Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Well, that's it for this edition of Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town, Fort Mill, TKK. To see more beautiful homes in our area, simply go to homesfortmill.com. But when it comes to the Fort Mill Care Center,
Caring for Fort Mill and TKK.
Until next time, this is Patty Mercer. Bye-bye.